On a stormy Manhattan night, lightning streaks across the skyline as Ethan Cole stands before the towering glass facade of his empire, Cole Industries. Reporters swarm him, their cameras flashing like thunderclaps, shouting questions about his billion-dollar acquisition. But Ethan remains silent, his face unreadable. Inside, he feels hollow. The success he built brick by brick has turned into a cage of gold. Behind the immaculate suit and rehearsed calm, he's a man drowning in loneliness, realizing that all the power in the world can't buy the one thing he's lost: genuine human connection. Across the city, in a small, dimly lit cafe, Leela Bennett wipes down tables after another exhausting shift. Between taking orders and refilling cups, she sketches dress designs on napkins, dreaming of a life far removed from her current struggle. The cafe hums with indifferent chatter, and she blends into the background, unnoticed, underpaid, but unbroken. Her spirit is stitched with quiet resilience. She doesn't know it yet, but fate is about to pull her into a story far beyond her imagination. A story that begins with a spilled cup of coffee and a mistaken identity. When Ethan walks into that cafe, dressed simply and unrecognizable, their worlds collide. Leela mistakes him for a struggling freelancer, and their brief, heated argument over spilled coffee leaves him unexpectedly shaken. Her blunt honesty, untouched by flattery or greed, pierces through his carefully built walls. For the first time in years, someone sees him as just a man, not a billionaire. Intrigued, Ethan makes a bold choice to return as Ethan Reed, a humble startup worker. The irony becomes the hook. A billionaire hiding his fortune to discover if love can exist without wealth. Years before the stormy night in Manhattan, Ethan Cole had been a different man, open, trusting, and deeply in love. His fiancée, Clara, was his world, until she betrayed him by selling his private data to his competitors, turning his vulnerability into public humiliation. The scandal nearly destroyed his company and hardened his heart. Since that day, Ethan built emotional walls as high as his corporate towers. He learned to smile for cameras and trust no one. Beneath the billionaire image lives a man scarred by deceit. A man who believes love is just another business risk he can't afford. Meanwhile, Leela Bennett's life is a daily battle of resilience. She juggles 2 jobs to pay for her mother's medical treatments, barely scraping by. Yet she refuses to give up her dreams of opening her own design studio. The world has taught her that kindness is often exploited. Past relationships left her feeling used and invisible. Still, her sketchbook remains her escape, a space where hope survives. Beneath her tired smile lies a fierce determination to rise above struggle without losing her heart, even when the world keeps trying to break it. As Ethan and Lila's paths intertwine, something rare blossoms between them, an unspoken connection built on shared vulnerability. Over countless coffee breaks, they laugh, dream, and sketch together, finding comfort in each other's presence. Leela believes Ethan is a struggling designer chasing passion over profit, and that belief gives her the courage to trust again. Yet small cracks in his disguise begin to show. The expensive watch he forgets to remove, his instinctive reactions to business talk, his calmness under pressure. Leela notices, but dismisses them, choosing to believe in the man, not the mystery surrounding him. When Leela receives an unexpected invitation to design for a prestigious charity gala, her heart nearly stops. It's her first big break, a chance to finally showcase her talent beyond cafe tables and napkin sketches. The event is sponsored by Cole Industries, a name she only knows from headlines, not realizing it belongs to the man she loves. Ethan, on the other hand, is thrown into panic. This is his gala, his company's annual showcase. If she attends, the truth will unravel. Desperate, he plans to miss the event entirely, hoping to protect both his secret and her trust. Fate, however, has other plans. Marcus, Ethan's sharp and ambitious business partner, notices Lila's designs and is instantly captivated by her raw talent. Without knowing their connection, he personally invites her to collaborate with Cole Industries, an offer she can't refuse. On the night of the gala, Lila arrives radiant yet nervous, unaware of the storm awaiting her. The lights glitter, the crowd applauds, and at the center of it all stands Ethan. Not as Ethan Reed, the humble artist she knew, but as Ethan Cole, the billionaire CEO addressing the audience with effortless authority. In that blinding moment, Lila's world shatters. Every coffee shared, every promise whispered, all feel like lies. The man she trusted turns out to be the very symbol of privilege she'd resented. Tears mix with fury as she confronts him, her voice trembling. Was I just a project to you? An experiment? Ethan tries to explain, but words fail. Cameras flash, and the crowd watches as she walks out, heartbroken and humiliated. For Ethan, the mask finally cracks. The empire he built on control and deception collapses inward. He's left alone, surrounded by power yet emptied of love. After the gala, Lila's world collapses into silence. She quits the collaboration with Cole Industries, deletes Ethan's number, and blocks every possible way for him to reach her. Nights blur into endless work as she buries her pain under fabric and sketches, determined never to be fooled again. Her dreams begin to feel hollow, tainted by betrayal. Every time she thinks of him, anger and heartbreak twist inside her. The man who made her believe in sincerity was living a double life. She tells herself she's over him, but every design she draws seems to carry traces of his memory. Meanwhile, Ethan faces chaos on all fronts. The scandal of his hidden identity explodes when Marcus leaks photos of him and Lila, spinning it as manipulation for publicity. The media devours the story. Investors lose faith, and Cole Industries' stock begins to plummet. Ethan tries to reach out, but Lila refuses to listen. For the first time, the man who once controlled entire markets can't control his own heart. Behind the headlines and boardrooms, he's consumed by guilt, not for being exposed, but for hurting the only woman who ever saw him beyond the billionaire Fawade. When Lila's mother's health suddenly worsens, bills pile up faster than she can manage. Without revealing himself, Ethan secretly covers the hospital expenses, unable to watch her suffer again. When Lila discovers the anonymous payment, her emotions spiral, fury for his intrusion, gratitude for his care, and confusion for the love she thought she'd buried. She doesn't know whether to hate him or thank him. Beneath the anger, both of them ache for the same thing: forgiveness. The tension between them isn't about wealth anymore. It's about truth, betrayal, and the unbearable longing to trust again. Just when Lila begins rebuilding her career, disaster strikes. Her newest design collection, her most personal yet, is accused of being stolen from Cole Industries archives. The media erupts, labeling her a fraud. Behind the chaos stands Marcus, Ethan's ruthless business partner, who orchestrates the sabotage to punish Ethan for defying him. Lila's reputation crumbles overnight. Clients withdraw, friends vanish, and the humiliation reopens every wound she tried to heal. Desperate for answers, she storms into Ethan's office, demanding the truth. For the first time, he doesn't hide behind silence or money. He's ready to lose everything but his honesty. In a raw, emotional confession, Ethan lays everything bare. He admits how Marcus manipulated both of them, using Lila to destroy him and his credibility. With tears in his eyes, Ethan recounts every choice, every lie, from the moment he first stepped into her cafe pretending to be someone else. I thought I had to hide who I was to be loved, he whispers, voice trembling. but lying only made me unworthy of you. The confession shatters the last of his pride. For once, the powerful CEO stands stripped of armor, vulnerable before the woman who once saw his soul. But instead of walking away broken, Leela rises stronger than ever. Using the evidence Ethan provides, emails, transactions, and Marcus's confession, she exposes the real culprit in front of investors and media, clearing her name and saving Cole Industries from collapse. The crowd applauds her bravery, yet she doesn't celebrate. When Ethan looks at her with quiet hope, she simply says, "I can forgive you, but I can't go back." In that moment, the power shifts completely. She's no longer the girl who loved in blind faith, but the woman who demands truth before love can ever return. Months later, the chaos has settled into clarity. Leela, stronger and wiser, opens her own design studio, a modest but vibrant space filled with creativity and integrity. She funds it entirely through her own effort, turning late nights and heartbreak into fuel for her dreams. She names it True, a reflection of everything she's learned. That success means nothing without honesty. Her designs celebrate authenticity, handcrafted, sustainable, and made in collaboration with local artists. Each piece tells a story of resilience and rebirth. Leela no longer measures her worth by love or validation, but by the truth she stands for. Ethan, too, has undergone transformation. Stepping down as CEO of Cole Industries, he reshapes his empire into a nonprofit incubator for young designers and entrepreneurs, a way to give others the chance he once took for granted. It's not an act of redemption through money, but through purpose. He lives more quietly now, far from flashing cameras, learning to find peace in humility. When he hears of Lila's studio launch, he sends a simple invitation, not seeking forgiveness or love, but to honor her achievement. For the first time, his gesture carries no mask, no hidden motive. At the launch event, the room glows with warmth and new beginnings. Ethan stands quietly at the back, unnoticed by most, watching as Leela delivers her heartfelt speech. "Truth doesn't destroy love," she says softly, eyes glistening. "Lies do." Their eyes meet across the room, no cheers, no apologies, only mutual understanding. The pain that once divided them now binds them in quiet respect. Ethan smiles faintly and leaves without a word, content at last. Leela turns back to her audience, radiant and free. The story ends not with reunion, but with empowerment, two souls healed by truth. A year passes, and the city that once held their chaos now feels calm. Ethan walks into Lila's boutique on a quiet morning, the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air, the same scent from the day their story began. She looks up, surprised but not startled. There's no tension, no unresolved pain, only quiet familiarity. They sit together as she pours him a cup, their silence saying more than words ever could. Time has softened what heartbreak once burned. There's no ring, no promises of forever, just two people at peace with what was, and who they've become. Ethan wanders through the boutique, admiring her work, the craftsmanship, the soul stitched into every design. His hand stops on a jacket embroidered with a single word, real. Without hesitation, he buys it. As she folds it carefully, Leela looks up with a faint, knowing smile. "You finally found what you were looking for?" she asks. Ethan meets her eyes, calm and sincere. "Yes," he says softly. The truth. In that exchange, all the apologies left unspoken find their meaning. It's not about rekindled love anymore. It's about closure, honesty, and the beauty of having grown apart with grace. As Ethan leaves, the camera lingers on the cafe window across the street, reflecting their silhouettes, once fractured by lies, now whole in honesty. Leela watches him go, her smile gentle, her heart unburdened. He walks away not as a billionaire or a lover, but as a man finally free from pretense. The reflections fade into the city's rhythm to separate paths illuminated by truth. The moment is simple yet profound. Love didn't return, but peace did. And in that quiet, cinematic ending, the audience understands sometimes the real happy ending is living truthfully, even apart.